This aircraft served up until 1969 when it was turned over. It had several upgrades, avionics upgrades. So if you're a purist, you're going to notice some more modern stuff relative to World War II versus 1960s. These aircraft traditionally had no insulation in them. So you saw bare metal, and that's all it was. There's no bulletproof, there's no ballistic armor, nothing in these aircraft. So the skin of the aircraft is that thick. Okay? And that's what it was. You get past all this fancy stuff here, and that's what you're looking at. As you can see how the troopers were lined up. You could only haul 18 guys in here. That's all there was. Up toward the front of the aircraft on the right-hand side, you'll notice a auxiliary power unit, an onboard generator. Basically, it's just a gas engine, and then it's hooked up to a generator that provides electricity to the aircraft. A lot of the aircraft won't supply the lights on board, depending on what the condition of the aircraft is. Notice that the floor has been reinforced. These seats can be, they're on hinges, so they can be folded up once they're unbolted. There's some of them are bolted and some of them are not. So that'll give you a little bit more space, and depending on, again, how the aircraft was configured. 18 guys. Imagine, think about this. How long do you think it would take to get these 18 guys out of the airplane? 20 minutes? 2-3 minutes? It should take you no longer than 9 to 10 seconds to clear this aircraft. Okay, now why do I say that? This airplane's moving at on an average speed of 90 knots, okay, across the drop zone. We have what we call 30-second drop zones, 45-second drop zones, 1-minute drop zone. That's a huge space. If you were to drop over off an Air Force base, you have approximately 30 seconds of drop zone. So it takes you 30 seconds to get from one side to the other without hitting obstructions, fences, and roads and stuff like that. Just the airline. It gives you an idea. We jumped into Panama, we jumped into the international airports there. We were all over the place. I ended up in a drainage ditch. That's another story altogether. The point is, being relative to the size of aircraft that we were jumping out of, we had C-141s, a lot more people. It took a little bit longer to get out. But this aircraft, when they go in, you have a guy at the end who's called a stick pusher. This is a bit exaggerated, but picture this, you have a bunch of guys and they're all crammed together, right? And they're getting ready to jump out. So there's no space between you. You're standing here, in this case, you're standing here like this with your static line, you're hooked up here, and you're butted up against the guy in front and back. Once that light turns green, Katie barred the door, you're getting out of here. The guy in the back is literally pushing. So if you got a guy that's kind of short in the middle, his feet aren't even going to touch the ground. He's like, ah, and he's gone. I've seen similar stuff like that happen on a few occasions. On Jumpmaster aircraft. So, yes, sir.
Was this padding here in World War II?
No, it was not. I was saying earlier, this is all post-war. Yes, sir.
How to build paratroopers, glider troops, was a nighttime jump there, was a daytime jump.
With the gear, that's the least of your worries. You've got straps going across here, which are probably the toughest ones. Here's the thing. You should know about that from experience. These are butt pan seats. They also had what they call troop seats, which were a canvas seat, just the canvas seat on the metal structure, so it just kind of sat there. And these aren't that bad in these are actually quite comfortable. What normally happens, once the engines are turned on, you're settled in, what's the first thing paratroopers do? They fall asleep. Now back in the day, the guys might light up a cigarette. Now all the way across France, that paratroop door that I was telling you, the small paratroop door, that was open, it was completely removed. Okay, so you could literally see outside, you could see the ships, you could see the thousands of ships, the 5,000 ships that we were taking into Normandy. You could see all that, you could look outside, even in the darkness you could see a lot. You look out the windows. Okay, the plane was cold. You get up above 5,000 feet above ground level and it starts to get cold. Now the jump altitudes were about 500 feet off the ground. So what you basically do is you have enough time to get out of the aircraft, your chute will deploy, and you're getting ready to land. It's almost just that quick. Training jumps usually around 1,200 feet where you have a little hang time and you can kind of look down and get yourself situated and make sure you don't collide with your buddy. And on a combat jump, you also had aircraft in front of you, you had aircraft to the sides, you had people shooting at you at the time. So things get kind of confusing. You know, every once in a while they'd have to dodge because the plane in front of them just blew up into pieces, and they had to kind of make a little turn around. Some of the pilots were a little nervous. They didn't throttle down before they got over the drop zone. That's one of the bad parts about being airborne. On every single drop that we've ever had up until, I think, Panama, we pretty much missed the drop zones. Well, Grenada we hit the drop zone too, otherwise we would have been up in the ocean. But Normandy was a big one. These guys were scattered all over the place because they were just, okay, that's enough for me, I'm just going to pop the light and get the heck out. Or planes had taken on enough ground fire that they were burning, get the heck everybody out. Yes, sir.
A lot of planes
Yes.
how would they do this?
That's a very good point. You have aircraft, so you don't, and this has happened over the years, you've had aircraft flying through a formation that's already dropped. So the guys fall down. So in subsequent aircraft, so you want to kind of drop like this. The lead aircraft down here, and they successfully go higher in altitude. So it looks like this when you see them. Sometimes you can't see, there's some cloud formations, and people don't pay attention. They're not looking at where their assigned altitude is. That's extremely important. They'll fly right through the middle of parachutes that are coming down. They'll get either by the rotor blades, or they'll just get killed by the wings. Chutes will become mangled or whatever, and then they're going to fall. At that altitude, you don't have time to pull the trigger. Oftentimes, the guys jump without reserve chute. When you jump it at combat jumps at 500 feet, you're not going to use a reserve. There's no reason to even have it. Now, it's up to you, the individual, whether or not you carry it. A lot of guys don't.